G'day everyone, welcome to Aussie Vision. My name is Mike.
I'm Dale.
We're a couple of Eurovision fans who will be running through the upcoming Eurovision Song Contest songs for 2017. Dale, you've been a bit of a fan for Eurovision for a while.
Yes, I think since Gina G came through in the mid-90s competing for UK, I hadn't even heard of the contest. We didn't even have the TV channel that shows Eurovision, but I was still a fan at that time.
And you were living in remote Australia, were you?
I was living in remote Australia, indeed, but then actually living in the UK, I got far more into it in the 2000s, and I've always been a fan, but I think for both of us, the last couple of years, we've become a lot stronger fans, I think, since going to the actual contest last year, following the national finals this year.
Yes, following national finals. Wasn't that a journey?
Yeah, Sunday morning at 3 a.m. watching the Belarusian national finals. Yes.
Who could ever forget Club La Perse? I'll never ever forget that, and I think I probably need to. So today we'll be running through the semi-final, number one, top half. And then we'll give them every song a bit of a rating, and if we think we're going to make it to the final or not. Of course, we'll be reviewing Australia as well, which we'll be completely impartial about.
We are impartial.
Totally.
Definitely.
Brutal. No.
We'll be fair. We'll be fair. And
Absolutely.
look, I think as well to note that, this is going to be a bit rough, this podcast.
Yes.
We're not professionals. We're just giving our sort of more unique Australian view on this. I don't think there's that many Australian voices out there.
Yeah.
And we really love being part, so let us stay.
Yes. Please let us stay.
Right, shall we get into the first song? Sweden.
Let's do it. Sweden. Robin Bengtsson singing I Can't Go On. Dale, you can... Oh, it's me.
No, it's yours. You can start.
Oh, we're off to a
We
rating.
can hear your paper going. So we just said it was going to be rough, so here we go.
All right, Robin Bengtsson. Well, first of all, not my favourite song out of Melody Festival, and in fact, far, far from it. I would definitely have gone with Jan Henrik or Victoria, but that's just me. Having said that, we've got to judge the song that we're looking at today, and it's a slick Swedish pop song. He's likeable. He's very good looking.
He's very handsome.
He's very handsome.
Yeah.
Is it too clinical, Scandi pop that leaves me a little cold? Possibly. But at the same token, it's a bloody good product. Well done, Sweden. They're probably the best Eurovision country out there.
I think you're right. In this decade, I think this has all been about Sweden. They consistently have good songs. I think ever since they missed the semi, they did make the final a number of years ago, and since then, they've actually been fantastic almost every single year. And compared to like the 2000s, we had Ukraine and we had Greece. I think this is all about Sweden. This is very Swedish. It is a bit by numbers. Handsome man singing a decent pop song with treadmills.
I was going to say
it's gonna do well, but I agree with you. There's something just a bit missing. There's no sort of soul to it, and I think you're right in terms of Melody Festival. And it wasn't necessarily the best song. Kind of controversial way they decided. The international juries, though, loved it. And I think when you put it in perspective of Eurovision and the songs it's against, it suddenly rose for me. I didn't really like it then, but when you listen to it in all 42 songs, I think it actually lifts a lot. And I don't mind the song. I like it. I think he performed it well. The staging, how's he going to do that staging? Is he going to be able to replicate that?
Yeah, personally, I hate the staging.
Do you?
I hate it. I hate the travelators. It's not a new thing in
Is it a
Eurovision.
travelator or is it a treadmill?
Whatever, a treadmill or whatever he's on. I really hate it. Having said that, it visually works. It's not the most original idea, but it works for this performance. And opening the show when they first hit that travelator, it's going to be a wow moment. It's going to be a wow moment, but particularly in the final. I think semi-final audience, a little bit different. They're going to go meh, but definitely for the final.
I disagree. I don't think anyone's going to go mad. They're going to love it. It's going to go off in the stadium. People are going to like it at home. The juries may not love it, but they'll like it, and the televote will be really strong for it.
Yeah, it ticks all the boxes.
Is it going to qualify?
Oh, yes. Yes, yeah. How do you even say that in Swedish? Yes.
I don't know. We were there last year. What do we say?
He never said yes, apparently. Look, yeah, it's a definite qualifier for me. Even if it opens the show, no one's going to forget that.
Okay, so if it qualifies, where's it going to come in the final?
Look, I mean, there's nothing guaranteed, but this is top 5.
I agree.
This is so commercially audience acceptable. This is just,
It's top 5,
It's
definitely.
top 5,
Where do you rate it though, personally? What would you? Our rating system is out of 100. We like
do
out of 100.
We're out of 100. I gave it 79.
79.
Didn't crack the 80s. Didn't crack the 80s for me, simply because it's just a little bit clinical. I mean, it's good, but it's just a little bit.
Okay,
clinical.
it's a good song.
It's a good song.
I'm obviously the Simon Cowell of the things because I've only given it 70 points, and I thought I liked it more than you.
Points.
70. Well, most of mine are pretty low actually.
Wow.
So, but it's all about in relation to the other songs. But a good strong start. I think this will open the semi-final fantastically well. So good song, good start.
I totally agree. Well done, Sweden. Again, big tick, and you're through to the final, I would imagine.
Definitely. Okay, we've got Georgia up next. Who's
Which is
Taco?
No, she's not Taco anymore.
Tamara.
She's Tamara. Tamara Gachikaladze.
Oh, well done.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
With
Keep the faith.
that's it. Keep
That's
the
the one.
faith. Go for it.
Okay, well, look, this is, I think, the very first song, well, one of the very first songs that was actually released. And the first time I heard this, I actually really quite liked it, but I hadn't heard anything else. And I think as all the other songs have come through, it's dropped and dropped and dropped and dropped like a stone. Look, she sang it live well. It's a bit shouty. She had that pretty awful light-up dress in her national finals.
I liked the.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. It was a bit basic. I think the song is okay. There's too many female ballads, shouty female ballads, and she's probably on the lower end of it, unfortunately. I think for one side of it, I would be interested in to see is that in those screens, there is a very sort of anti-Russian sentiment definitely coming through there.
Never.
Well, we know that she was banned
That's-
previously
yes,
for this.
that's it.
So will she be able to do, if she can use a little bit of that imagery there, maybe she can write a bit of anti-Russian sentiment? If there's let's not go to the Russian thing.
She'd be
anyway.
preaching to the choir in Ukraine, no
Well,
doubt.
Exactly. So the thing is, look, it's an okay song. I don't mind listening to it, but it's really towards the bottom of my entire 42.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Look, I have to agree with you. I've got my notes. Okay is written down a few times.
Yeah.
She's okay. I actually quite like her. I like her look. I like her vocal. The song for me is that sort of dated James Bond themey,
Yeah.
which can work. I mean, hello Conchita. You know
That was 2014.
Exactly. And we're 3 years on now. For me, what's going to make you vote for this? What's going to make you vote for this? I think you're right as far as the ballad female vocalists go. She's probably not top of the pile.
Yep.
I think we've got someone coming up later who's probably does a better job of it.
Yep.
So I've got written here nothing really original about this, which is a shame because
Yep.
I think I quite like her. They've given it the coffin slot for a reason.
Yep.
It was second in semi-final 1. I think we better get a good look at Tamara on the night because I don't think we'll be seeing her on Saturday somehow.
That's very true. What's your score? Your own original score?
My original, I'm giving this a 60 out of 100, and that's pretty low for me. 50 means you basically drowned in a bath.
Well, my score is 50.
Oh,
But for me, that's just like an okay song. For me, 50 is okay. I don't mind listening to it. But if it was a year where there was no other ballads, maybe she'd get through. But there's so many, she doesn't have a chance of making it through, in my opinion. So that's a non-qualifier for me. How about you?
it's a non-qualifier, even if she has a light-up dress or whatever. And I think she's improved since the national performance. But no, it's a non-qualifier.
All right, done.
Gone.
Sorry, tomorrow. Okay, Australia is next.
Well, I've never heard of this
Hey!
nation before. Australia, and it's Isaiah. He's with "Don't Come Easy."
Indeed.
All right, so I'm starting this one off.
You can start.
Well, let's face it. Let's talk about the artist to start with. I don't think every Australian fan was picking Isaiah, even though it was leaked a lot that he was possibly. I've got to say, the general consensus, people were hoping it was the Veronicas.
That's true.
But unfortunately it wasn't, or fortunately it wasn't. However, he came out on the night when they announced him and he sang this song, and my instant reaction was, I really like this song. I like the song. I like him. He's inexperienced and that worries me. But it works. The package works for me.
What works in the package though?
The package, I think it's a really strong song. And there's a certain vulnerability with him. I think his vocals are improving. I mean, he only won X Factor, the end of last year, for people who aren't familiar with that. So we've got this raw, young 17-year-old kid from rural Australia who's about to hit the biggest song competition in the world,
Yep.
that worries me a little bit.
Yes.
But at the same token, yeah, I see, every time I see him perform it, I see it getting better and better and better. It's not going to be a Dami style blow your socks off performance on the night. He just doesn't have the vocal ability. But at the same token, if we stage it well, we can make it compelling, and it can certainly stand out.
Yeah.
Which is difficult for a song like this.
Okay.
All right, what do you think?
Well, I think you're right. Look, he's 17 years old. That is young, and he's not only just 17. He's very inexperienced. You know, he won the X Factor. He had some issues around the live performances on the X Factor. He forgot his lines a number of times. So I think it's been a good thing for him to go around touring with Jessica Mauboy, who obviously did Sea of Flags as an interval act in 2014. So I think she struggled under the pressure of Eurovision. So I think she'd be a really good mentor for him. The song itself, I think, is a good, solid song. It's not amazing. It's not terrible. And I know there was a lot of backlash from fans when it got released. And I think there was backlash because at that point we'd heard a lot of ballads. And I think I think this is good that we had backlash because people expect really high amount from us.
Yeah.
And that means, you know, hopefully we've won some fans over the last couple of years. We've obviously come second and fifth. Now, we have to drop. Yes. And this is our year to drop. You can see that we're already not putting the same investment into it, I think, in promotion. I think we're just going there. We're going to hopefully perform well, do a decent effort of it, still have a strong song, and see how we go from there.
Right. Question for you, Dale. If we don't make the final, is that a disaster?
Yes.
Okay.
In Australia, we have very high standards of what we expect. We take this really seriously.
Absolutely.
And this is the thing I think I think this is differences, well, not differences, the difference from us to UK is we take this deadly seriously. Now, the UK are trying to take this seriously now after many years. And so for us not to make the final would be a disaster. But it might be a bit of a kick up the bum at the same time. We can't put something like this and expect to come top 5. It depends how he performs it live. Yes. His vocals have got a lot better, and we'll see how that goes.
I totally agree with you.
Staging will be very important for this song.
It's so difficult to follow up a runner-up spot with an eye-catching performance that Dami did.
We've got our eyes on 2018.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Look, I think this is our sort of filler year where somebody comes in, he's doing the job, it's a decent song. Is it going to blow everyone's socks off? Probably not.
Okay, well, we could talk about it all day.
Yeah,
and
true.
We probably need an entire podcast episode to talk about this.
To dissect it.
Exactly. And one more thing I'll say before we rate it is, and I think you've mentioned this a few times, I do think it's a really good song. It would have been better if it was sung by someone older.
It's not really age appropriate.
It's not. And I think juries will pick that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we need those jury votes. That's what gets us through. Yeah.
Because we're not exactly loved with the...
Well, Eastern Europe doesn't love us very much. But anyway.
All right, we're there. Well, yeah, okay, so let's rate it.
Is it going to qualify first?
I've got it as a maybe. I'm not that...
I'm sorry, you can't just be a maybe. You can't sit on the fence. It's a yes or no. Is it going to qualify?
I would say it's a yes then. I would say it's a yes. And I'd say it's just a yes.
I agree. I think it's just a yes. I think I've been seeing some of the votes from fans, just to get some votes has been quite good. Mm-hmm. I think just from the fan club in Australia, they are very worried. We are worried about not making it through. We're not arrogant about this. But I do think it'll sneak through.
I think it'll sneak through as well. And if it does get through, where do you think it's going to finish?
Somewhere in the teens. I think it won't make top 10. It could be 11th or 12th down to about 18th.
Yeah. Okay. I've got 15th to 25th.
Wow, that low.
Yeah. I just think it might get a little bit lost on the night. We didn't give it a score too.
Oh yeah, God, we didn't either. Okay, well, your score first.
76, which isn't too bad.
That's pretty low for you. I like the song. I think it's good and I think it's solid. I might have sounded negative of it, but I actually really enjoy it and I gave it a 72.
You could have fooled me. You didn't say very nicely. Well, no, 72. No, that's okay.
I think it's just we've got to be critical of it. And I think it's more talking about our place in Eurovision almost. And I think dropping from such a height.
Yes, I think that's what we're worried about. If we have one bad year, all of a sudden we get cold.
We just don't want to leave. Don't judge us on Isaiah.
But he's not.
He's a lovely kid though, and I hope he can charm people.
Might do okay.
All right.
Okay, I think
we should stop talking about Australia. Yeah. I mean, well, we are Aussie Vision, so
yeah, fair enough.
And
it's we're not hating on it. We're not hating on it.
No,
not at all. So the next song will be Albania.
Lindita
with World.
Bote. Botti. I don't know how we pronounce
You're
that.
studying this one because you're a bit of an Albania file. Is that even a word? I don't even know.
I don't know what it is, but yes, it's true. Look, I had very close friends in, and I still, they're around still. I have very close friends in the UK who are Albanian, so I've always had a very big soft spot for Albania. Mm-hmm. So each year, despite even last year when we went to the semi-final, I took an Albanian flag for Fairy Tale when I knew it was going to not be very good. Now, with this song, I love her. I love her voice. I think she's one of the best singers in the competition. I would say, I know, not one of the best singer this year.
I probably won't disagree with that.
She is the best singer.
Yeah.
Now, she's been on the X Factor or The Voice in the US. I can't remember actually now, which is terrible.
American Idol, wasn't it?
Oh, God, what am I talking about?
That's still going.
I'm going to be judged fiercely for that. But anyway, she lives in America now. She has not been given a great song on this one. Let's be honest, it's not the greatest song. You're not going to whistle it down the street. You're not going to listen to it very often if you're like listening on Spotify or whatnot. But when it comes to a live performance, I think she's going to bring it. I think she's going to bring it so well. And when she holds that note for about 35 seconds or however long it goes and does her hair at the same time as she did in that live performance, that is going to blow people's socks off.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Albanians living across Europe. I do think that this could actually do a lot better than people are going to think it is doing, because the recorded version is not going to be like the live. The live is going to blow people's socks off.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. I know you've been very keen on this song ever since the national final. What did you think of the revamp? That's what I wanted to ask.
Love the revamp.
Okay.
Normally Albania gets it wrong. Last year they got it wrong. This year they got it so right. Okay. So much better in English.
Fair enough.
Though in the video sometimes I can't really understand.
I was going to say, I thought she was singing it in English, because I have one of my notes here is the lyrics. Her diction isn't great for somebody who speaks English fluently. In the song, I don't understand. I had to look at the lyrics to understand what she was saying half the time. But I'm going to concur. The voice, amazing, so powerful. If anything, and this is the worry I have about this song, is it going to become a vocal exercise, and is it just going to be, particularly the last 30 seconds of it, just her wailing and losing the melody? That's the only thing I've got. But having said that, I know it's a song competition, Eurovision, but people do love a good singer.
Yes.
And people vote for a good singer. And she's charismatic. She has got the voice. I can see this getting through.
So 2012 was a really good example. That Sus song, the one where she just basically does about 10 notes in different keys. And it's incredible. Yeah. An incredible vocal performance. It's not a song.
Yeah,
it's not even a song. It came fifth.
Yeah, so fair enough.
Holding that one note will be incredible, and people will not forget it, and they won't forget her, because she will wear something amazing. She will look fantastic.
Yes.
And I have number one, I've given this a rating of 68.
Okay.
Because
God, you're tough.
Well, I'm being tough because I'm looking at the song and I'm looking at everything.
Yeah.
So the song's probably about 50. She's about 90. So 68.
Yeah, no, she's good. She's really good.
Your rating?
72. I've rated it
higher than me.
Yes.
Yeah, you're just soft though. Just give it these high ratings. I'm harsh.
What do you mean? Well, I've got a lot of.
Is it going to get through?
Look, I had it as a maybe, but apparently I'm not allowed to say maybe. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes.
You do realise you've got to have at the end of these two semi-finals. You can't just say every maybe is a yes. No, you have 20 people who got through.
Look, I've got a few of them that are maybe no and maybe yes, but this is a maybe yes. But I don't have her making the top 10. This to me is in the sort of 11 to 20 range. She's great though. Gosh, she's good.
I've said a yes to get through, and I think that's a bit of a surprise. I don't think people expected to get through. There's a little bit of late momentum for her after her live performances, and I think she will get through, but I kind of tend to agree a 16th to 25th kind of area.
Oh, you're even lower than me.
I just think on the night, that one note ain't going to win it over when you've got so many other better songs out there.
Well, Tamara's not better, so poor old Tamara might want to do do a number on her or something to get through because, yeah, I think they're definitely opposition against each other and Albania wins hands down.
Okay, so Belgium.
Belgium, Blanche. Is it Blanche? Blanche.
Let's call it Blanche.
Blanche, because they're Australian.
Yeah.
It's Blanche with City Lights. I'm
You can start this one.
I'm starting this one. Well, gosh, don't the fandom love this one? The Eurovision fans. Ever since it was released, wow, this has been very popular. And I'm going to say I'm not really on that bus. It's a good contemporary modern song. But it can also be, I find, a little monotone and a little sort of plodding along. She did perform on The Voice Belgium the other day, which gave me a little bit of hope because it certainly lifted the performance, but the preview performances I thought were really flat and I found Blanche was more beige.
Wow.
No. But look, this is one of those ones, if they stage it correctly, it could blow everyone away. Think Loic from 2015. But if they don't, and she just stands there singing into a microphone, it could fall as flat as a pancake.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I love the recorded version. Like, I really enjoy it. I mean, maybe not love it, but I really enjoy the recorded version. Live, even as soon as I heard the recorded, it's like, this is not going to translate live performance. And as what we've seen so far, it's not. I find it hard to watch her and listen to her. I think she's young and inexperienced, and she's been thrown up to be this big favourite. And I think she's also feeling the pressure of that as well, unfortunately. Now, the staging of that, I saw that kind of interpretive dancing going on. Reminds you of Love Kills a few years ago as well, which was a much better song. I just think this is just meh. This is not Eurovision. This is a good song, but it's not Eurovision. She's no Loic. He performed the F out of it.
Yeah.
She unfortunately doesn't have that. She's got a lot of good, that voice is very unique. Mm-hmm. She's not a performer. This is a performance competition.
Exactly. It's visual as well as oral,
Exactly. And I find it, for me, I have to rate it based on not just the recorded version. I'm looking at the live. I gave it a 65.
65. Gosh.
Hey, that's a pass mark. That's a credit in my university.
Fair enough. I gave it a 76. I do like the song. I just need to see it translated live. And also I think it's a terrific contemporary song if we're going to bring another generation of Eurovision viewers through, etc. You've got to keep things up to date. And this is certainly something you could hear on the radio, no problem. With that,
but I think if you're watching a live on the night and she starts singing and is that monotone, morose kind of sounding thing, you're going to go off to the bathroom at that point in time.
Yeah.
None of that light work behind her is going to lift this song.
She needs movement on the stage. That's why I like that voice performance. The two backup singers moved. They interacted with her. Because otherwise it's too static. If it's her just talking, droning into a microphone, really, she's got no vocal high points.
No.
She's just her. I don't want to say anything terrible, but just standing there like a shag on a rock type of thing. Sorry. Tune out.
This has zero chance of winning. I cannot believe it's high up there.
It's
zero chance.
Oh, gee, she's
I wouldn't
in the
put
top five with the bookies.
Well, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, okay.
Like ridiculous.
Fair enough. I don't see it winning. No way.
Is it going to qualify?
Yes.
Totally. I really toss up on this. I can see a potential upset of this not making it through, but I think because it is contemporary, I think some juries will just, people will be aligned to it. I think it will get through, but it's going to do poorly on the night. I do see it being in the 11 to 20 zone somewhere.
Wow, I've got a top 10.
Not a chance.
Without a doubt. And not only that, I have so much confidence in Belgium and their staging. They always bring it. I don't know whether it's an Australian thing, but the last 2 years, I've loved their staging. I've loved their...
Australia loves them.
Yeah, we do.
But those singers were great performers.
Yeah, true. And they were, what's the word I'm looking for? Very dynamic. Loic and Laura were both dynamic. They were around the stage. They were performing the song. If she just stands there in a bloody, what do you call them, dressing gown or something that she's going to wear, I don't know. Everyone's going to be bored as... Yeah.
So I just think you can't polish everything. Let's move on to Finland.
No, you've missed somebody.
Oh, Montenegro!
Oh,
God, how can anyone miss him? Oh my god! Yeah, okay.
Slavko Kalezic with Space. Oh god, you get to start on this one, which is great.
When I first heard this, I did not like this. I was like, there was a lot of build up about him because he's really out there, and it could have been really exciting and something that was a good song with us. Not a novelty factor, but like a Eurovision factor about him. Didn't like the song at first. I must say, I'm starting to really enjoy this song. It's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I like him. I like that he's in Eurovision. He's getting a bit of flack back home in Montenegro. A lot of people don't like that he's there. He's wearing a blue like mermaid dress at one stage and flying around some horsehair off his head. Like, is that their issue? No, like it's amazing. It's great to be that out there, I think, from a nation who don't necessarily celebrate that. And I think it's a good upbeat song in a year that doesn't have a lot of upbeat songs. I think he will benefit from the fact that he's come off Georgia, Australia, Albania and Belgium, which are all very meh songs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to come out like this. Now, how good is his vocal going to be? How good is his staging going to be? It could be a surprise little result there, but at the same time is who's going to pick up the phone and vote? Are the jury's going to probably like it? Not so much. But I like that it's there. I enjoy the song.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think he certainly benefits from the songs ahead of him. He's going to come out and shoot the glitter cannon right in our eyes, whether we like it or not.
I think you need a towel for that.
Yeah, exactly. Whether we like it or not. Look, let's talk about the song itself. It is actually a decent song. If you can get past the hysterics of the performance and the plat, and hopefully he's wearing a shirt on the
What
night.
about the lyrics?
Well, I've got here wrongness written down. Wrongness and a little bit nonsensical. But at the same token, when you look at all the metaphors, there's certainly a message there, which isn't a bad message either.
What's the message?
It's a safe sex message, a lot of it.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got his suit on. There's no need to worry,
Yeah.
This isn't
It's about rooting, though.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm pretty much sure it's about that.
Okay.
I don't really know. I'm just going in with eyes wide open. Look, it's one of those songs. It is definitely. I agree with you. It grows on you. After a few listens, after the laughter dies down, there's an actual good pop song under there. Having said that, people get to see it once, as they always do at these competitions. Will it really strike a chord with people? The good thing with this, he's in the semi-finals, is that there's a different demographic that watch the semi-finals than watch the final itself.
Okay.
This will appeal to semi-final voters, I feel. It's certainly got that appeal. So I don't think this is a lost cause for all its campness.
Okay, but straight out, is it going to qualify?
I had a maybe, and I'm erring to no. This is screaming 11th or 12th.
It's a no from me.
Yeah.
And not from me personally, but I don't think it's going to win over everyone to vote for it.
Particularly juries, perhaps. Juries might be the trip up for this one. I think there's probably going to be a lot of love from the public. But
I think you could see like Western nations of Europe maybe giving it a few like 2s and 3s.
Okay.
But I don't think it's doing so well.
You don't think I'm going to say the cultural bloc voting. Who's he got around? It's Albania.
It's a Western song though.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing.
What did you rate it? What was your?
I gave it a 66.
God, you're so high.
Well, it's higher than Belgium.
Wow, you rated this higher than Belgium.
I really enjoyed this.
I gave this a 73, so I gave it somewhere between Albania and Belgium. Look, I like it. If you did happen to make the final, have you got any sort of predictions where you think it might finish?
No, because it's not going to make the final.
Fair enough. I thought somewhere between 15th and 20th if it snuck through, but I'm not really sure it was.
It's a no.
All right, have we done with space?
We are.
I think everyone's done with space. Finland, yes.
Well, you can start on Finland.
So it's Blackbird, Norma John performing Blackbird, Finland. So the first national final, I think we really delved into this year. And, when we first looked at it, was it the song that stuck out to us? Possibly not.
God, no.
I liked it.
I think people were self-harming to it.
But my gosh, when the night of the final and Emma spontaneously combusted on stage, this certainly shone on the night as the well-performed, very professional. And you know what? I bloody love this song. I really, really love this song. I love it. I've loved it. It's a lovely composition. They can perform it. It doesn't have to be overperformed. The musical interlude in the middle of it is wonderful. So I have no problem with it doing a live performance. I love the song itself. The one thing I say, on your first listen, will it capture you? And I'm not sure for the general public. For the juries, yes, they're going to love this. I think they're going to love it. Well, I bloody hope so. But will the general public take one listen and go, geez, that was good? Not entirely sure.
I think it'll capture some people. I remember us going through the videos of Finland, and this really was towards the bottom for me. I could see what they're trying to do, but it was just I just found it really dull. When we watched the live performances from that final, it completely changed my mind. I mean, I remember telling that you started to like Blackbird, and when we found out, and I told you, you were shocked that I won. You were asleep. I watched it, but I woke you up, and you were like, Blackbird won. You were like up out of bed,
yes,
before noon for the first time, like that. You were that excited. But I watched that live, and it was actually amazing. It's quality. They can sing it live. I like this simple performance. Sometimes that simpleness will work really well at Eurovision because you're going to stand out and be different. It's a ballad, yes, from a female, but it's not a big shouty ballad. No. It's very understated, and I think there is an audience for that who will really enjoy it. I know they'll do a good live performance. For me, I've got this going through to the final, and I gave it a 67.
Gosh, you're so harsh with your scores. I gave it a 77 because I love it. I really do love it. I think it's a wonderful song and really well performed. I had as a qualification maybe. Everyone's a maybe at this point. No, but I'm going to err on yes. I'm going to err on yes, and I think this will be a top 15 song. And like the OJ, Australia gave it points. This is something that resonates around the world. I think if you love your Eurovision, I think you'll really love Finland. It's a really, really nice song.
I think it might matter how many other female ballads make it through to the final. Because if not many do, I think this could sneak to top 10, but I've got it around 11 to 15th.
And position.
And I think if that ends up making just sneaks into the top half, I think that would be amazing.
Terrific.
I think that would be brilliant.
Terrific. I mean, if it makes the final and draws the number 3 spot or something, or the number 2 spot, well, yeah, exactly.
Could be 22nd.
I'm a little bit worried, but if it sort of comes towards the end, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I don't think they have to overcook the staging.
And can I also say a bit of a shout out to Finland people, because the Finnish love Eurovision. Yeah. Some of the votes in the OJ fan poll were huge from Finland. We were there last year. They used to have a club that was dedicated just completely to Eurovision. Unfortunately, it shut down before we went to Helsinki. But they love Eurovision, and I think it would be. And it's been a few years now since they've made the final, and this would be just great for them to be there. I really hope that.
Totally agree, and I really enjoyed their national final. I have to say that the quality of acts that were there, the diversity of acts. I'm still spewing arrows. She couldn't perform the thing because I really liked it.
She couldn't find a note.
But anyway, shout out to Finland. Yay, love to Finland.
Okay, off to Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan, one of my favourite Eurovision countries ever.
I know, and I'm going to start on this one because I know...
Dihaj and Skeletons.
It is Dihaj, yes.
It is.
So I think I like Azerbaijan, and I feel an affinity as Australia with Azerbaijan. I felt like they were the outsiders who came through in like the mid to late 2000s. They're virtually an Asian country.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So are we.
Yeah, oh, well, totally, yeah. We know that. But like, this is the whole argument about it's not continental Europe. They came in and they have been amazing virtually every single year. Even if they have a bad year, they still make the final and they always put up quality. I've loved a lot of their songs, except the winning song, which is one of the worst winners of all time.
I love that song. For the record, I really love that song.
But anyway... Well, I won't talk about Azerbaijan all day. Let's talk about the song. The song, first listen, I was like, oh, it's not really grabbing me. But you know what? It's contemporary. I like her. I like the look. God, I love that video. It's absolutely fantastic, even with that Datsun car. Datsun cars are massive in Australia. So
that's a limousine in Azerbaijan, I believe.
Look, to me, it's there. It's a good song. It's contemporary. I think they'll do good staging. Again, it's not a song that I listen to a lot on my playlist. I kind of find myself skipping over it a little bit, but when the video comes on, I can't stop watching it. And I think the live performance, I don't think I'll stop watching it. I don't think the song itself is a particularly amazing song, but they're going to do well. It's a contemporary song, and I think it's an improvement from last year.
Well, I'll agree. It's an improvement from last year.
Well, the live performance of last year.
Yeah.
It was a good song last
I
year.
liked it. It was a very good pop song last
Yes.
year, but the poor thing couldn't sing it.
No.
Look, I'm going to concur with some of that. I don't skip it on my playlist. I absolutely love this song. It's in my personal top 5. It's gritty and it's contemporary. I like that. I think they brought that. It's a darker sound, which is really good. How are you going to do this on stage? You know, like that's my next question, because it's very gritty, it's very dark. You know, they want to have a good performance where people stand out. We'll see how this. Gets translated.
I think I'm not gauging this by a lot, but I think they're going to do a good stage. They will do a good performance of this.
Are they going to be holographic skeletons? Because that could be really dinky. You know, if you get too literal with this, it could get a little bit dinky. And I just, do it. And she's a really great performer.
Yes.
Like, she's got personality, and she's got. So if they can stage this, and generally, let's face it, Azerbaijan generally are pretty good with their staging.
Yeah.
I can't see this not qualifying. Put it that way.
Of course, it's going to qualify.
This is
100%.
This is a qualifier. Now, what did you rate it out of 100?
I gave it 71.
So, again, I'm higher. 79, and for me, if you're into the 80s, you're a great song. 79, just a little bit below, but definitely.
Is this so? Can I just? Is this in your top 5?
Top 5
overall, all 42 songs.
Overall, 42 songs. Yes.
Wow,
it's number 5.
I don't really see that.
Well, you have a lot to learn, Dale.
It does not make my top 10. It's
Really?
probably somewhere between 11 and 20 overall.
Well,
The Australian fans gave it points,
they
didn't
did.
they?
The OJ Australia gave it 1 point as their 10th song.
Yeah.
So I definitely.
It hasn't been doing very well in the fan polls, which worries me, because I feel like if anyone's going to love this song, the fans will. I think it's more of a fan song than a public song.
I think the juries might like this one. It's a good song.
Where have you got it finishing in the final?
12 to 20 I've written here. I don't know if it's going to be a top 10. This all, again, depends on the staging. If they blow everyone away with the staging, then who knows, lower top 10. Can't imagine it being any higher than that, but yeah.
I've actually put it down for the top 10. I think
wow.
Azerbaijan consistently gets good votes from Eastern Europe. It'll get votes from Western Europe much more this time, I think. I think it might benefit a little bit from Russia not being there this year as well.
Okay, that's true.
And I think it'll be a good performance, and I think it'll be the lower part of that top 10, 9th or 10.
Okay, but I think we both concur this is in the final.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
It's not even a question.
And we love
Put your money on it.
And we love Azerbaijan. Well done.
I don't think I want to go there, though.
Well, you really? You don't want to go to... I do like the fact that we're now the new kid at school. Like, they must be stoked.
Yeah.
They're like somebody else is new. God.
So they can bully us
go
now.
And pick on them. Yeah, go and pick on them. Yeah.
So this is the final song of the first half.
And wow, I'm going to say, I think we left the best to last. It's Portugal, it's Salvador Sobral with Amar pelos Dios. That's right. And I get to start on this one, don't I? Or
You do.
I do. My gosh, what a song. When it was in the national final, it caught my eye. It's a wonderful, wonderful song. I think it's actually my favourite song in the entire competition. I would love to see this win. I don't know if it's going to. There's obviously a very large guerrilla roadblock for that to happen. But for me, I mean, yes, it is a song of a bygone era to a degree, but at the same token, it's just so beautiful. It's such a beautiful, delicate song. He does it so well. I wasn't enamored with his whole stage, what's the word I'm looking for, attire. It kind of looks like a hobo singing the song or something.
Okay.
But at the same token, it doesn't take away from the actual essence of the song. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song. I just love.
Okay, I've got 2 questions for you before I start into my part. Why does this split the fans so heavily? Because you've kind of see that people will either give it a very high score or virtually give it 0.
Yeah.
People hate it and people love it.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I guess because it is. It is one of those songs that harks back to a former era. You know, this could have been in a 1960s or a 1950s competition, and that's not going to appeal to every Eurovision fan. Some Eurovision fan wants Eurodance bangers to be every song or whatever, and it's a song competition, and this is a wonderful song. you know, and it is going to polarise fans. Totally polarise fans. But having said that, I'm on the massive yes pole of that. Yeah, this is just love it.
Well, my opinion is I actually totally agree with you, which was actually a good thing.
God, Rick.
I think, again, this is so different. I think we're in an era now, as we spoke about earlier, that Sweden has dominated this decade, and we're seeing a lot of Swedish written songs, and it is getting a bit samey. And there's a tradition in Eurovision that as things become a bit samey, something comes out and wins unexpectedly. I think of like a completely different example, even like Hard Rock Hallelujah. It was just so different, and it was not expected to win, and it got people to pick up the phone and vote. Even though it was an amazing song, the performance was really good. We know he can sing this live. He's got a beautiful voice. I think when people watch it, who are just watching it on the night for the first time and thinking about Eurovision isn't all about the fans. It's families,
mums and dads,
grandparents.
Oh gosh,
they are going to go. This is beautiful, and they're going to pick up the phone and vote. I love the song. I really hope he is able to be there on the night. There's obviously been concerns about his health. I think they're a bit exaggerated. I think he'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
He'll sing it. I know he's made some comments that make him sound like he's being a bit snobby or arrogant. No. But, when you look at it, he's just said, I don't really care. I just want to go out and sing my song. Yeah. And I think it's a beautiful song. The Portuguese language isn't the most amazing one, but it sounds good in this song.
It does, exactly.
And I think this is going to be their best result is 6th.
And I think we can't ignore that whole Portugal thing. They've done so poorly at Eurovision over so many years. I'm just so stoked that they have a chance to really. This should be their best ever finish.
So, is it going to make the final?
Oh gosh, yes. Even if I have to go in there and pick him up and carry him to the final myself. Yes, this is going to the final.
I agree. I think it's going to the final. I really don't. I think the juries are going to love it. Some may not, but I think the public will definitely pick up the phone for this song. What did you rate it?
I gave it 89 out of 100. I love it.
Well, this is quite interesting because I've rated it higher than you.
Oh my gosh.
I've given it 90.
Wow.
Adore it. Absolutely adore it. I think for me, this is 100% in the top 5.
Oh.
But it's going to matter about, is Europe going to do what we think that they might do and pick up the phone and vote for this? Now, we don't need a majority. You only remember, even Robin winning Melody Festivalen won it with 16% of the vote or something like that. It's probably not that. Don't quote me on that. I love my stats. I don't have it to hand in front of me.
I think
you don't need to have
11% of the televote or something.
Yeah, it was about 11. But you don't need a huge percentage. You just need to capture that amount of people. And I think that generation and I think some of those families and I think a lot of other people who appreciate music will pick up the phone and vote. I certainly will be. And I think it is the only song, well, maybe that in Bulgaria, that can stop Italy. But it could fail and not even make the top 10.
There we go.
Or it could win.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But I'll put it for a top 5.
I totally agree. And actually, I'm giving it somewhere in the top 3 to 10. Depends.
Oh, God, sitting on the fence again. Jesus.
Look, I mean, just because I personally love it, I think the juries will love it and it'll get a big score. You're right, the public can be iffy on it, and it's a shame because I think it's lovely. One good thing about this song, you don't have to worry about staging.
No.
You could have a black stage and him, and it's there.
Oh, just
done.
Do exactly what you did. Maybe dress them a bit better. Have the camera follow them around.
Buy him a new suit. Definitely buy him a new suit.
But also, I like his little ticks. I think I'm finding, and every single person that we've shown this song to, when we've shown Eurovision songs, who aren't fans, who watch it once a year, they've all just adored it.
Yep.
No one so far has said it's really boring. Oh, except our friend Dan who loves pop music. He was like, meh. But then you're going to get that one person, but 4 other people that were shown to just adored it.
So that's great. I guess that's a small sample, but a good indicator.
And you pretty much cry every time you actually watch it.
I do. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay,
I've said that word love about 100 times during
it's Eurovision.
whole review.
We love the song. And
it's my number 1.
Can I just say about this first half of this semi-final, I think this is the strongest half of all semi-finals.
I tend to agree with you. I think there's a lot of quality there. And
we've got a number of favourites there. We've got Belgium. Yeah. We are considered somewhat of a top 10 in the bookies. I disagree with them.
Yeah,
we're there.
Really
Sweden's there.
Yeah.
I think Azerbaijan and Portugal are very strong first half.
I think there's going to be a few qualifiers come from that top half. Put it that way. I really do.
And I think it'll be interesting because I think there sometimes tends to be a pattern depending on a semi-final where a lot of like one half will get through. Often it's the second half, and this. Well, I don't want to lead into too much about the second half songs. I don't think we're going to get many qualifiers from the second half.
We're about to review the second half shortly.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably go through and see what we reckon's going to make it out of that semi-final. Because
But that's the first semi-final done.
Yeah, first
I'm really
semi-final,
looking forward
top
to it.
half. Yeah.
So pretty much like on the morning, well, it'll be morning for us, it'll be evening for Europe. We'll
Exactly.
probably go get a coffee and a bacon and egg muffin or something and come back up and get ready for second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you for listening.
All right, done.
We'll be back soon. Cheers.
Yeah.
Oh,
I need a wee too.
Have a listen back.